Alright, let's just get this out of the way tonight, because tonight's episode, as you probably saw at the end of the last review, I actually forgot about this episode, believe it or not. I guess it really just shows how much this episode left an impact, and lack of it. And watching it again, I don't think it's bad, but it's like we just went through an uninteresting episode, an honest episode, got to the highest of highs with a royal problem, and now all of a sudden this episode, it's like it just took off. It basically just gave itself one giant face plant after tripping over a rock and then tumbling down the mountainside face first like the bitch pudding clip in Robot Chicken where she fell down the mountain. That was this episode, so I need to just get this done because obviously I want to get back into my Let's Play of Kirby's Return to Dreamland and start getting back to recordings, but I'm delaying it long enough. Let's just get this done. Not asking for trouble. Let's go. So this episode starts out with Pinkie Pie being Pinkie and getting excited and a letter from the Yak.
Pony who lives with baked goods. It's from the Yak. Yak cordially invites Pink Pony to YakYakcastan. Come, now. Prince Rutherford is officially inviting you to YakYakcastan. YakYakcastan!
Alright, well I will give this episode this. It has some interesting ideas because obviously, from the last time we saw the Yaks, was not very well received. The episode as a whole, the last time the Yaks were in, and we were only in YakYakcastan for like, what, 3, 4, 5 seconds, and it's just for a joke. Well, this time, we actually get to see YakYakcastan after, admittedly, Pinkie was pretty persistent in her 20-plus letters, and after the theme song, Pinkie gets excited to be an honorary Yak to go to the YakYakcastan for YakSlurperfest.
That's not an official position. Yak, you're the princess of friendship. You can make it happen.
Given how much you had to go through to try to impress these jackasses last time, I'd say you have a long hill to climb over. I'll get more into that when we get there. So, in any case, Pinkie takes Gummy and flies all the way to YakYakcastan as we definitely get to see what it's like inside. So, thankfully, we do get to see what the Yaks are like. As we can see from just a few building designs we see, they're mostly living in huts. And the Yaks go around breaking stuff. I mean, I don't even know what the holiday is, but I guess we'll find out. But apparently, all the stomping and breaking sticks around is apparently part of YakSlurperfest. Pretty much goes into the same category that we saw from the last time from the Yak, where they pretty much have the IQ as the Hulk. Pre-Infinity War, I don't know, I haven't seen any of the Marvel movies. With a bunch of sticks and twigs in your head. But yeah, basically in their mind, the Yaks basically see breaking things as kind of a stress reliever. Like the type of stress reliever you have as basically punching a pillow. So Pinkie gets in on the festivities after a really, honestly, not that really much of a fun joke. And we just see the Yaks break stuff.
Now, I take Big Pony on YakYakcastan tour.
Thanks, Prince Rutherford. I've been to YakYakcastan.
Well, we haven't, Pinkie, because we were only in YakYakcastan for like, again, 5 seconds, and it got taken away just for a joke.
Yak, no, but Big Pony might not recognize town since decorated for YakSlurperfest.
Yes. So, yeah, I will give this episode this. It does give kind of world building on the Yaks, where we do actually get to see what YakYakcastan is like, so it is nice world building.
Not just have eye for decorating. Yak's also an amazing builder.
No way. I thought you hired professional contractors. You're a...
So yeah, so basically we see the huts as they are, huts. Basically with straw being built on the top and the walls made completely out of mud that are easily broken.
This ceremonial Yak fire pit, where Yaks tell stories.
Ooh, I have so much to officially tell the ponies when I get back.
And I think maybe we would raise the questions, how would you like have you set the fire?
This Yak eating hut where Yaks eat.
So I guess there's a hut for everything in YakYakcastan. An eating hut, I'm assuming a drinking hut, a bathing hut, but you get the idea. So,
Where Yaks sleep.
so essentially there is some nice world building, and while the world building is good, it's just kind of Prince Brotherhood explaining what YakYakcastan is like. And while it is nice for the audience to know, what about YakSlurbertfest? The reason that Pinkie came in the first place. What's that holiday about?
Oh, wait, I don't have a horn.
Or too heavy for small pony heads. YakSlurbertfest stop time!
So then they go back to breaking stuff, and then an avalanche happens and buries YakYakcastan.
Is this part of the festival?
Big Pony asks too many questions.
So yeah, 8 minutes in and we finally have a conflict, so I can finally talk about them. So yeah, with pretty much their entire village buried, what are the Yaks gonna do?
Don't fall from mountains all the time.
All the time?
Every YakSlurbertfest.
Okay, avalanches like this completely bury all your homes every YakSlurbertfest? Really?
This is Big Avalanche. But shut up, brother, for Yaks are tough. Yaks dig through snow. Won't take long.
Okay, as you can probably tell from my reactions, you can tell that I'm not really a huge fan of Prince Brotherhood. I know, I've been very subtle about it. But yeah, you can obviously tell that the Yaks have no idea how to handle an avalanche that's sitting in walls, and they don't really require to ask for help.
Good. You have an emergency? Let me know.
So they try to dig out the snow, but it ultimately doesn't get anywhere because, well, it's too much snow, and obviously if you have shoveled snow, you know it does take a long time.
Wizard word.
Okay, don't worry, Prince Rutherford. I'll go back to Ponyville and ask for help. Twilight and the others will be happy to come take the snow away. After all, many huts make light work. Right, Gummy?
Yaks still need pony help.
So you don't need help from any pony because you want to prove that you're tough even when your entire village is buried in snow, you have no idea how to clean it up, you don't have magic to help you try to clean all this stuff up, and you're the ones that don't require help. You know, I did ask the question if I was going to like the Yaks, well, specifically Prince Brotherhood more than the last time we were here, but now it's just like that clip in South Park where I'm just like, okay, never mind, I hate him again.
Oh, well, I'm sure it'll be okay, because you probably have a plan B.
Yes. Yaks wait for snow to melt.
Well, that is a stupid plan because obviously the snow usually takes about at most 2 to 3 months to melt, if we're even lucky enough to get snow nowadays, but it takes a long time. I don't think that the snow is going to magically melt overnight.
All this snow? It'll take 1,000 moons before it melts.
Yaks known for their patience.
Well, that doesn't make. In the meantime, what will you eat? Where will you sleep?
All legitimately good points.
Yaks
well, in that case...
Oh, well, you know what I'd say? Screw you guys. I'm going home.
That would honestly be me in this situation, because I would have been like, okay, fine, screw you too, Prince Rutherford. Hope you enjoy Frostbite. So Pinkie does try to put on the act of essentially following along with this, and naturally she sees young Yak starving.
Prince Yak will hear Yak. There's no worse than Yak ever seen. Yak, no. Yak hungry too.
And he's not thinking of the kids who are not as tough as the adult Yaks, and even more so, they have legitimate concerns about this. Kind of makes you wonder why the rulers of YakYakcastan put this idiot in charge.
Coming, Pinkie Pie here to help in a police part. You have to convince Prince Rutherford that asking for help is okay.
Now, I understand the moral of this episode is essentially it is okay to ask for help, because it usually, when you ask for help in any situation, it'll get the job done easier. The only problem with that is that this is the type of moral that we had all the way back in Season 1, literally the 4th episode, when Applejack struggled to ask for help. It's like we're pretty much repeating morals, only this time, the focus of the moral is on a bunch of characters that we already hate and must endure. Okay, so anyways, basically Pinkie Pie tells a story of essentially as an algorithm for the Yak, as...
So what is the moral of that story? Is it A, asking for help is okay? B, asking for help saves the day? Or C, asking for help is good for every pony?
D, ghost wings are horrible. Magic robots need to stay out of ghost business.
Okay, well how about two more options? How about E, all the above, F, none of the above, or G, get the help you need to clear out your village, you moron.
Not quite. Any Yak wanna shout out another answer? Oh.
You guys are sheep.
Hey, Prince Rutherford, I want to talk to you about something. What you doing?
Young Snowman got a little melty last night.
And isn't melting a good thing, because that's exactly what you wanted? Dick.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about.
So Pinkie Pie tries to explain the situation, but because, being the lovable jackass that he is, Prince Brotherfoot doesn't believe the Yaks need help.
No, Sam.
When Prince was little Yak, Prince stomped on ground too hard, made deep holes and fell into hole. Ice rose over hole. Prince waved to friends and family from inside frozen holes. Waited for spring thaw. Prince survived on bone.
Okay, I might have missed something here, but, that story...
What? What? No, seriously. What?
Yeah, what was that story about? What was the point of that?
Wait a minute. You spent the whole winter in a hole?
Yes, and Yak never asked for help.
Okay. First of all, how did you make such a deep hole from stopping? And how did it freeze over so fast?
That's the problem with the Yak, is that they make so little sense that you have to ask basic questions that apparently they can't get through their heads. And I pretty much already spoiled what's going to happen, but I'm pretty much at a point of how much such Prince Brotherfoot is nothing more than an unlikable jackass that I'm surprised nobody has started a coup at this point.
But you see your family and friends who waved to them from inside a frozen hole? Even if all that was possible, how did you breathe in there?
Yak don't ask for help.
The Yaks are hungry. Who knows when the snow will melt? I just don't understand why.
Ah, yes, it's clear now that Pink Pony does not understand Yaks.
Well, I don't understand the Yaks, and I've been watching the episode for the last 15 minutes.
Honorary Yak
Prince Butterford. In that case, I am proud to say this. Spencer?
You're an idiot. What are you doing? You're a first-class grade A moron.
Fine! Be stubborn!
Well, actually, I have a better... Forget it. So, yeah. So, Pinkie essentially gets kicked out because, again, the Yaks are essentially jackasses, and essentially she goes back and tells the main six what happened.
Official pony balloon still here? Pink pony gone because pink pony's not tough like Yak.
Okay, no, in that case, I have a perfect way to tell you this, Prince Butterford.
Well, fuck you too!
Point up in agreement.
I accept it.
Okay, so eventually the main six do agree to help Pinkie Pie help out the Yaks as they basically sneak into the village because, again, the Yaks are essentially morons who don't know how to ask for help to get their village back in order because the Yaks have been so likable in this entire journey. Of course, I am making all of this up because Prince Butterford drives my patience. So the Yaks wake up the next morning to see their village pretty much back to normal because, again, they're idiots.
Prince Rutherford was right.
Yaks, stop! Yaks, wait patiently!
You have no brain.
Alright. So even after all this, they do see that the main six did try to help out, and then we get...
Then we got near the snow god, so we thought we'd hit it down on the way back to Ponyville. Hi!
Wait! Yak's not mad at Pink Pony.
Yak's not?
Pink Pony helped Yaks without Yaks asking. Makes Pink Pony understand Yaks.
You?
What?
All right, would anyone care to explain?
Yes, can somebody explain that to me? So, you're telling me that by refusing her help for 20 minutes, well, in this episode, I'm sorry, what? So you're saying that by basically going to get help for the Yaks, she understands Yak culture after you refused her help time and time and time again? Whatever. At this point, I don't care at this point. So, Pinkie is basically invited as an honorary member of the Yaks. They all live happily ever after, and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I could really... You care less. That was not asking for trouble. This episode's not good. I mean, it's not the worst episode in the season. I mean, again, and when you're at Princess Spike levels of bad, that's another thing. But this episode's nowhere near that. I will give this episode this, that it is nice to see the culture of YakYakcastan, and I guess it was a good thing that we got to spend more time with it. But the Yaks drive me nuts. But I didn't like how they were portrayed in Party Poop, and I sure as hell didn't enjoy them in this episode. And again, I get what they were trying to go with, is saying that it's perfectly okay to ask for help and you don't have to do everything on your own. But again, the problem is that we did this type of moral all the way back in the beginning of the series. And we have to do it and we have to basically tell the moral to a bunch of idiots who don't know anything. And it's frustrating for me to watch when you try to bring logic into basically a country where the rules don't apply to them. And I get that's the point, but the Yaks are not really the most enjoyable characters to watch on this show. I mean, maybe if we could get some more rootable Yak characters, that would be one thing. But it is a trying episode to watch, especially if it's a moral that was already done. Excuse me. I mean, again, there are some good nuggets in there. There is some nice world building, and there is occasionally a funny line from Pinkie there. But there's a lot of stuff you have to get through in order to get to the good stuff. So again, this episode is not the worst, but it's not really all that interesting, especially coming off the heels of the last episode. So, honestly, as a whole, I would say that not asking for trouble is probably about a... Honestly, I want to say, you know what, I'll just give it a C-. There are some good chuckets in there, but because the Yaks are so frustrating to watch, I was this close to making this episode a D-. But because of the world building and some occasional funny lines, it did bump it up slightly. But it can't get any better as a C-. And that's what I'm giving Not Asking for Trouble. Oh my god, Season 7, what are you doing to me? It's like you're giving me episodes that are the highest of highs, and then all of a sudden, you trip over a rock and face plant off the side of a volcano. Alright, let's just see. Next time, we will be looking at Discordant Harmony. See you guys next time. Hopefully to something better. Bye.